That's horrible.
So,
Pretty bad.
It was
last
worth it.
time on The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, you guys outsmarted Agden Longscarf because he had a long scarf, and I believe Old Blue is now the most notorious brigand in all of Prismere. And then you sailed your raft into the Bullywug village and into their swamps where the hag's cottage is, and you went straight for it, and you've snuck your way inside of the cottage. And based on the perception checks from last time, you're sure that she's right behind one door, along with some other people. And you're in that hallway right now, and so far you're unnoticed. So, let's see here. I think I need, like, something like this, too. So, this entire cottage it's dark here in this hallway, and the whole place is damp, as if the swamp itself is seeped into the wood and just sits there and has been there forever. The walls are covered in moss, mold, and you can see particles of it flying into the air from a little bit of light that's coming in from outside. And I want to note two things. The first thing is, Blue, your eye is caught outside in the window from a ray of light. You look up into the sky, and you could swear that the clouds are forming into shapes, three shapes. And then the squirrel looks up at you with three claws.
I made that connection. Three. If only I knew what the shapes were.
Three. Also, there was something very important that was misheard, or I missaid it. And I want to clear it up. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light did not say find the alicorn. They said find the alicorn's horn. Just want to clear that up because I think I may have either missaid it or it was misheard.
I believe you missaid it because I remember find the alicorn.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that was.
So you guys keep trying to find the alicorn, and I feel bad about that. So I just want to clear that up.
To be fair, I would automatically assume that wherever it or its corpse is where the
I
horn will be.
don't know that this changes our mission much from a 30,000 foot level.
Looks like Jake should hop in soon. I just saw him pop up on Roll20 for a second.
Nice. Okay.
I think I was trying to open this door down here because the last thing I have for Felsane is 17 investigation, 20 stealth.
I believe that what we did was we listened behind the door. So, just as a reminder, behind this door you hear several voices, including a dark, low female voice and then a croaking, gurgling sounding alien-like voice, as well as other things in the room. Jake! And behind this door, you also hear several things and the clatter of objects. You can certainly open the door, but it's clear to you that there's something or someone behind there.
Well, I feel safe in Felsane trying to check that, or Nia trying to check that with the 20 stealth she also rolled that night.
Okay.
But yeah, everyone else is just gonna not be there. That seems like a smart plan.
Within 20 feet of that location, it's okay. Hold down.
No.
Uh-oh.
There's a bug in Roll 20 about opening more than one
I
page.
thought I was gonna die.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed.
Like, you can't say uh-oh as the DM if you're not talking about the party wipe that's about to happen.
What was your stealth check?
20.
Was it a nat 20?
It was a dirty 20, 15 plus 5.
Okay, so they got a 21.
Oof.
Oof.
Plus 5 is 21.
We
So,
will never see her like again.
But that's a little metagaming because you don't know that, okay? But let's see here. In fact, you opened the door. You heard that movement. You very quietly have to kind of push open this door like it's soggy and waterlogged, but it stays in place when you open it. And you look inside and you can see a room with 2 exits. And above each door is a wooden plaque with a severed goblin head, looking like surprised. And there's a sideboard and some cupboards, and there's a big banquet table with a bunch of half-eaten foods and shattered dishes and junk, and it's all just spilled out on the table with flies and maggots crawling through it and stuff like that. And there are some candles that are lit in here, flickering light, and some mismatched table chairs around the banquet table. You can make a perception check.
I will do that. Select that. Click that. Yay, brains! 23!
23. As you enter here and you see the doors have the plaque with the goblin head, you see little eyes poking out of the goblin's head's mouth.
Are they goblin-sized eyes, or like...
No. They're small. They fit inside a goblin's mouth.
I mean, I feel like my eyes would fit inside my mouth. If somebody actually wanted to gouge them for that purpose, I don't know. That's all super creepy. Gonna go a little further in here, and then...
Yeah,
do the eyes seem more or less not dead?
They look at you. They think they're hidden. Apparently, they just watch.
I'm going to just very softly say, I guess there's nothing in here, and close the door behind me. And then very quietly tell everybody to not go the fuck in there.
Alright.
And that's all I'm doing with that door, because that was creepy as shit, dude.
It only gets worse. I can say that I didn't write it this time.
That's fair.
Well, I guess we gotta try and go through that door, huh?
What'd you say, Thomas?
I guess we gotta try and go through that door, huh?
You mean this one, right?
Yeah.
The one with the scary people.
I mean, at least we know for sure that whatever's on the side of that door is a scary people, whereas this one is a scary something that hides in dead goblin skulls.
Yeah, the death you know versus the death you don't know, right?
I mean, I don't want my head mounted looking surprised, do you? Do you?
The longer we wait, the worse we make it.
There's worse ways I can imagine my head mounted. I'd take it.
I mean, that's fair.
Sometimes life is about risk mitigation.
I'm going to describe this hallway again, so I didn't do that, okay? It's a dank hallway And there are scores of portraits showing grumpy, sad, frightened, and angry people on the walls. They include humans, elves, halflings, bullywugs, goblins, and others. They're in a variety of mediums, paintings, etchings, sketches, etc., and all have gaudy gilded frames. And a framed oval mirror, 2 feet wide and 5 feet tall, is in the middle of the door, or in the middle of the hall. And then you've got 3 doors, one going into the bedroom that you all checked last time, and then you got the one the little elf, half-elf girl checked, and then this one.
I would like to investigate the obvious magical mirror. How do I look?
Make a perception check.
Oh, I'm sometimes good at perceiving. One of these character sheets is the right one. All right, let's see. What does a 14 get me?
You notice that a couple of things. First of all, the door or the mirror, the sides of it have some kind of goop that you realize is like a glue that has fixed it to the wall. And the other thing is, when you look into the mirror, what is Din feeling right now? Like, what's his emotion right now with the situation?
Let's say frightened,
Okay. Right.
or
Not the condition.
alternatively uneasy.
Right. So, like tense and like looking around and stuff. But when you look in the mirror, at first, you don't notice it. But then when you look at yourself, you know that you're like tense and your eyes are squinted. But then when you look in the mirror, your reflection is like this.
Man, I'm way better under pressure than I thought I was. All right. Is that all?
Yeah, your reflection seems to be just expressionless in the mirror.
All right.
It is
And
obvious.
I end my turn.
It's obvious that the mirror is blocking something.
Oh.
Through some sort of adhesive.
Padawan walks up to the mirror. Does he notice the adhesive too?
Yeah. I don't. The blue. Do you tell them?
No, I don't think I remark on the mirror.
Okay. In that case, make a perception check.
It's a hut filled with creepy things. I'm not going to point out every time something's creepy.
That's a 7.
You do not notice it.
Okay. Well, all right. Are y'all ready to try to walk through this door now?
I mean, unless one of you guys thinks the creepy door over here is a better option, then yes.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't literally any other door be superior?
Well, it's the only one.
The squirrel's scurries and scratching at this door.
What did you say, Jake?
Sorry.
Squirrel's scratching at this door for sure.
I had a thought.
There
I would like
doors in this direction.
Can I fit under the door seal?
Or are you trying to fit under this door?
Yeah.
It's open.
Okay. And sir, real quick, there's a goblin head in here, other than the table.
Mounted above one of the exits, yes.
Nia, do you tell everyone about it?
I mean, he was kind of standing there when I opened the door, so I assume he saw it. But yeah, I mean, I could tell them more about the creepy room.
Okay, if Nia tells everybody, then scroll you over here, or say that there are goblin heads with eyes poking out of the mouths, looking out from inside the goblin heads.
Okay, I'd like to look for those.
right.
between two of them.
You find a plaque with the goblin head up above each door, including the one up above you as you enter here. And then inside of the mouths are eyes in the dark of the goblin's mouth looking out.
Do they look like squirrel eyes?
No.
Do they look like eyes of pixies or other creatures I would recognize?
They do sort of look like pixie eyes.
I'm going to wave my little squirrel paw at them, see if there's any reaction.
Legolas, what do your squirrel eyes see?
Do you do it with this one or the one over on the opposite end?
I mean, I guess at all of them at the same time.
Okay.
Just probably like, got to like this point and like make myself known to these goblin eyes and wave my hand around or my paw.
Okay. So what you just hear the other one do this, but you see this one right here do this. Okay. You wave your paw, and then all of a sudden the eyes like get really wide, and then you just like hear a like a shuffle, and then the goblin's head just tilts as the thing like goes back into the back of the goblin, afraid.
All right, I'm going to kind of stand back in the doorway and kind of gesture to the others to come in.
I guess we're going in this door.
Are there any like table scraps or anything under the table?
They are, but they're rotten and full of maggots and covered in flies.
I'm going to pull some of them rotten scraps out and offer them to the goblin head mounted above this door.
At first nothing happens, but then like a cat, like the hand comes out and like grabs it and then brings it into the goblin head. And then it like tries to eat it really quietly as if it didn't actually happen. It's still trying to be hidden.
Do Woggle Twig's tree eyes see anything?
Oh yeah, where's Woggle Twig?
In here.
Eventually it becomes clear, and he's like, you have to be careful. These are Bavlorna's servants. They're treacherous.
I mean, I was kind of at the door when the squirrel was terrifying them, so do I know that they're just terrified little things?
Yeah.
Then Nia's just like, they're terrified. It does not elaborate on that at all.
Well, it's said that sometimes Bavlorna torments and changes the things that she gets here in her cabin.
It's kind of spaced out for a second. Tiffany, I had fucking forgot what you guys named her on me. Tiffany would like to try and call out very softly to these little pixie critters. Wait, do I know they're pixies now?
No.
No, because he's a squirrel and can't talk.
It doesn't matter. What do you call out to him?
Well, I was gonna say, like, in, like... I don't know, because it doesn't make sense if I don't know they're pixies, so I'm just gonna, like, call over the squirrel and be like, hey, come here. Come to the tiefling. Do you think they're friendly?
Squirrel shrugs.
Do you want me to, like, put you up there so you can get in there and see what's up?
The squirrel shakes his head vigorously and then like hides under the table.
Do you think we should tell Din to get up there and look inside that?
He like steps half a paw out and kind of just looks curiously at Din.
Din!
What?
Right. I know when I'm needed. Where am I going?
Go stand on something and look inside that goblin skull over here. Above
It's
this
as tall
door.
as the rest of you. I don't need to stand on things.
Well, yeah,
All
but it's a door. I'm assuming it's taller than you are.
Minion.
You stick your head in that?
In front of it. I'm not like putting my head in the goblin jaws.
He doesn't
Not
want to wear it
that-
for a hat.
brave or small. Who goes there?
I mean, I don't know why. I want to show you guys this, so I'm gonna like maybe let me see if I have it. Steve GH. Nope, not there either. And not there. Okay. Well, I'll try to describe this thing. I'm gonna move you for a second just so I can see it. All of a sudden, this thing comes like running out, and it runs across the room and slams into the squirrel. And it's about the size of the squirrel.
Is it like slamming into me angrily?
It's like how, like, if you have a room and you have a cat in one place in the room and a cat in another place in the room, and you scare the one cat, it will for no reason slam into the other cat, even though you have an entire room for it to go into. And that's what's happened. It's scared.
That's just basic science.
Yeah.
I offer it a nut out of my cheek pouch.
Could you describe this creature with your words?
Yes.
I don't know what I'm dealing with here.
Yeah. It's hard to describe. It looks like a like a toad, but like with a human mouth and big bug eyes and a big bulging fat body and long skinny weird arms. And it like just runs across the room afraid, slams into squirrel, and then starts like begging for mercy from the squirrel.
Squirrel stands up, puffing his chest out like a proud knight would, having been knighted, and he rests his paw on the shoulder of the creature as it multiplies.
It whimpers, "Please don't hurt us! Please don't hurt us!" Like a dog that's like being apologetic, and both of them come out and do this.
I reach out my paw to gesture towards the door, and then kind of...
And they say this in common, by the way. Everybody can hear it and see it and understand it. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that was it. I just stand by the door and gesture towards it. I don't know if they understand me or not, but that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, okay. They bow and thank you profusely, and if nobody stops them, they're going to run out of the room.
I mean, I guess I want to stop them and be like, hey, you don't need to be scared of us. I'm obviously friendly because I unintentionally sent an angry blue man at you. I'm sorry.
Master will be angry at us if we speak with visitors.
No, she doesn't even need to know we were here. We just want
You
what
won't tell
she
Master
took
if you
from us
won't.
back.
They look at each other like, okay, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We just won't tell Master.
That's a great deal.
And now, like, they both sit down, and one of them starts eating the nut that the squirrel gave it, and then they share it with each other. They each start eating it.
I would like to, as situations have calmed down, I'm going to sniff around this cupboard and see if I can smell anything.
Yeah. You smell.
That was it. That was the full statement.
Yeah, I probably do smell pretty bad.
It is full of rotten food.
Okay. The one across from it?
Yeah, they're all like, there's nothing of note in here.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
really need to take better care of this place.
Other than these two creatures that are just like sitting here and eating, and like bunched up against the wall, still kind of nervously.
so I'm just gonna kind of flat out ask them, do you guys actually like rotten food, or is she just not good at groceries?
We're grateful for Master's foods.
But like, if you could have not rotten food, would you like that instead?
The other one looks at it and is like, not rotten, not rotten. What is not rotten?
I pull out my pumpkin cupcake.
They like it starts to like come toward them, and the cupcake gets bigger, and they're just like, 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 and they reach for it. Are you gonna give them the cupcake?
After I ask them a question, do you happen to know where Master keeps the things she's taken from people?
And they start to reach for it, and they're like, yes, we show, Master.
Then I give them the cupcake.
And they eat the cupcake, and they start eating it, and they're like, Master keeps mirror, and it goes back and forth to carnival. And then the other one's like, what's word Master use? Blunder scratch, bangle stitch, bandy crash. And then the other one's like, not bandy crash, bumble snatch, babble scrap. And they like go back and forth like this, confused. And then they're like, you want Master things? What, you steal Master things? Are you guest?
Well, Master stole things from us, and we're trying to get those things back.
They're like enraptured by the story. Like they can't believe that such intrigue and drama could ever exist in their lives.
Squirrel steps over to Din, taps him on the boot.
Yeah, what can you do me out of, little squirrel friend?
He holds up 2 claws and then points at these 2.
Thanks for that. Yeah, I can count. Don't worry. I'm all over it. There's 2 of them.
And then he steps over to the door, and he puts his paw on the door, and then he holds up 2.
Nope, there's only 1 door there.
He steps back.
Let me make sure.
Wait, but there's 3 goblin heads. Because there are 3 doors in this room, right?
One of them eventually speaks up and says, if you want things, Master took things. Like, and this is like a moment of revelation for them, And he's like, you have to go up. You have to get to stairs. Or go up somehow.
Do you know where the stairs are? Go up.
Through there. And it points to this door.
Right.
Hallway on the left. You'll have to get past Bloody Toes. He's having a bad day today.
Oh. That's unfortunate. Can you tell us about Bloody Toes?
He makes good food. And then they gesture toward all the rotten things on the banquet table.
Okay, so I don't have a witty thing to say there.
Game's over, we finally stumped him.
Yeah, anyway, let's crack this door open stealthily and peek on the other side.
And they say, be careful in there, be careful. Master,
I'm always careful.
not fix that room. And they're like, and the other one turns to the other one, like, we should go. Can we go now?
Well, just one more question. Are there not 3 of you?
3? What 3?
I just... There's 3 goblin heads, and
There's
seems
2
like
goblin
everything
heads.
we've... Oh, I thought you said there was one over every door. Like, isn't this a door?
Sorry. There's one over this door and this door.
Oh. Never mind then. I do not ask them the question. I just say yes, they can go.
They, like, scramble with the remainder of the cupcake and, like, waddle out of the room, like, right back toward this way.
You could have started a cupcake-based cult, and you chose not to. And I want to let you know that was a mistake. All right.
He just kind of looks confused at the word cult because she doesn't really understand the concept of cults since many of them are religion-based.
Alright. You're opening the door? Is that what's happening?
Stealthily, if I can. I want to, like, open it, crack, and peek through, and see what's on
Sure.
the other side.
We don't want to get bloody toes.
It's not locked. You very carefully open the door. It's dark on the other side. You see a contraption. It's entangled in lots of copper tubes and wires, and there are all these cylinders and cisterns that are made of brass and copper. And there's barrels that are clustered in the southeast corner of the room that you can see, and a door right here. And light is filtering in through a green diamond-shaped pane of glass opposite end. You can feel heat in this room and hear hissing of steam. Bless you.
There's no one in here.
There is no one in here. As you get in closer, you see a table with a bunch of implements.
All right, guys, it's clear. Ooh, what kind of implements?
Is this a chandelier or a still?
These are metalworking tools.
I mean the big thing.
That is a still.
Okay.
And you can see it in places like steam coming out of it, and in some places it's shaking.
Is amongst these implements, is there a wrench?
Yes,
I would like to take the wrench.
you have a wrench.
Excellent.
Noticing Din grabbing tools, Scroll would like to leap up on the table and try to find a scroll-sized tool.
You find a metal shaving that you're certain is a tool, and it's definitely not.
I stuff the tool in my little tail.
I was about to say, it sounds painful.
I imagine there's like it's like enough fluff that it just kind of like sits
Yeah.
over there.
Sure.
You know, like being a feather in a hat. Not like that.
He's 1/16 kangaroo, and that's where his pouch is.
Well, I have cheek pouches for pouches.
What are you doing, Catawan?
Catawan is investigating this door over here.
It looks like all the other doors in here, and that it's like made of wood stacked to each other, and there's moss, and it looks waterlogged and heavy. And there's a classic doorknob made of brass.
I'd like to stealthily try to open this door.
All right, roll a stealth check. Yes,
What?
I said yes.
Is
That'd
that the right
be
word?
an 11.
So you slowly open the door, and it goes into a long hallway with a room on the other side, and you hear things on the other side of in this room. You basically hear a commotion, the squawking of birds, and someone cursing in a foreign tongue and chasing them, meaning not in common, but they're yelling and cursing something and chasing after it, and you hear birds flapping.
Catawan steps back and says, "Guys, there's some sort of commotion going on in there. What do we do?"
Before we totally give up on this room, I would like to ask, this distillery here, is it distilling anything?
It seems to be distilling something.
I mean, like, can I access whatever it's distilling?
Well, there are barrels of things over here, and then there are buckets, actually. They are full of really awful, stinking smelling alcohol. It has a really strong smell. And the barrels, you can tell, are also full of them.
I would like to sort of dip my hand into one of the buckets, scoop up a little bit of the alcohol, and do a little taste test.
It is horrible, but it doesn't make you
Okay.
sick, but it is alcohol.
Well then, there's apparently no one of taste in this entire establishment. All right, someone mentioned birds. I love birds.
Yes, there's some sort of commotion with birds and a person going on at the end of this
All right.
hallway.
Only we
Can
could
I
find the mirror
identify
these
what
things were talking
language
about.
this person is swearing in?
Does anybody speak Sylvan?
Yes.
It's in Sylvan.
All right. Well, go on. Swear for me. What do they say?
Well, you know what? Give me a second.
And remember, you've got a baby in the house.
Now's the time to start teaching her to swear in Sylvan.
Imen Singan Stas Nastas. It sounds like German or something, or Austrian. I don't know why.
I don't know that Din would be able to tell the difference between German and Austrian.
He's cursing the
alright.
gods that made birds. Basically, like the bird god. He's like, why bird god? Why?
All right, I
Given the
can
horrible things
appreciate
they've done
that.
to my cars over the years.
All right,
Alright.
I say we try to sneak up on him and jump him, try to subdue him. What do you think, Den?
I have no input. Yeah, I'm a little light on information. But we could attempt to just like beat the crap out of Bloody Toast. You know, make him a little bit more even keeled.
Squirrel
Throw him
taps
some
on
bloody knuckles along with his bloody toes.
Squirrel taps on Din.
Hmm?
Holds up one finger, points down the hall, then runs over to the barrel, holds up one finger.
Din will nod knowingly, and then turn back to Catalan without saying anything.
Are you,
So the squirrel,
Squirrel,
wants
are
to
you
drink
saying-
one finger of booze.
Squirrel? Do you want us to roll a barrel down the hallway and try to smash it into this guy?
Squirrel buries his head in his hands.
Okay. No. Okay, that was the wrong idea. My bad.
All right. Well, it seems like
Nia and her amazing
Sometimes-
stealth are just gonna like sneak down this fucking hallway while they're talking.
sometimes you need to cast Speak with Animals, and now seems like a good time to do it. Hello, girlfriend.
What?
You
I
motherfucker.
I really like it when you cast a spell just out of exasperation and annoyance. That's usually like, it's fun. It's interesting.
It's real. It's real life.
It's real.
Yeah.
It feels real.
All right, you dumb squirrel bitch. What do you want me to do with these barrels?
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the other stupid squirrel. Come on. What do you want from me?
Did you actually just reply to me? You always reply to me
Yes.
like days. My goodness.
I
Oh,
can listen. I can hear you the whole time, but all you keep doing is just raising fingers at me.
well, I mean, I tried to talk to you for like the first 3 hours, and then once I realized no one could hear me, then I
Well,
stopped
the
talking.
carnival's kind of the carnival, you know. Anyway, the barrels. I don't have.
Oh, well,
What do you
yeah.
want?
I mean, if it's alcohol, people like alcohol. We feed this person alcohol. Maybe that'll
You
brighten
think
their
we
day.
should feed the
They're not
person
having
who
a
brews
terrible day.
alcohol their own alcohol? The chef
Maybe
who
they're
makes the food.
they're not taking their job. They're taking their job too seriously, and they need to take a break.
You think
Relax
that they're
a little
not already drinking their own alcohol?
I don't know. Maybe it's too far away.
All
Someone
right.
pretty listed down there.
I'm never casting Speak with Animals again.
I mean, if you want to do it, talk to me some more. That'd be great. Because no one's talked to me in a while, and it actually feels really weird.
I mean,
Everyone just looks at me like
it turns out it's for the best. All right. Who wants to grab a barrel of booze?
Yeah. Did the conversation not go well then? I'm taking that.
It was a
as-
terrible conversation. I regret. I'm not a big fan of regret. Like, listen, life takes me where life takes me, but this was a bad decision.
Okay. Yeah, I'll roll a barrel over here.
But anyway, the
Nah,
squirrel
take a
thinks that
barrel.
we could offer the brewer his own alcohol, and that would be potentially beneficial.
We could
Tiffany just
say
looks
that.
at Old
We
Blue
could
like
say
he didn't
that
actually
Bill.
cast a spell, he just lost his shit.
We could
Like,
say that
oh.
Bavlorna sent us to relieve him and to give him some alcohol. Say that Bavlorna sent us. Is that her name? Bavlorna.
You
Bavlorna.
could just say the boss lady. That tends to, then you don't have to worry about mispronouncing exotic names.
Right. The boss.
Am I
lady
like
sent us.
peeping anything
Are
over
you-
here
are
in
you
my
wa-
stealth
are-
attempt? Like,
Did you roll
yeah, I
stealth?
was like stealthing down the hallway, just like waiting for you to respond. I hadn't rolled it yet. I need to roll it.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go.
Alrighty. It's
Oh,
okay,
I'm
Mason.
sorry,
Have a good night.
Understandable.
Shouldn't feel
Have
bad.
Have a
good
good
night.
one and get better
Good
soon.
night, Mason. Good luck with your ear. He's
Okay.
gone.
You hear a commotion in here with birds flapping against this thing, and you hear a voice like cry out. Do you speak Sylvan?
No.
Something is just yelling at you, and then it jumps up onto a table, and then it points a meat cleaver at you. And the sound of birds flapping continues.
Alright. Well, that's not how I saw this going.
Padawan charges down the hallway, seeing that his companion is about to be in really big trouble.
No, leave her to the consequences of her actions.
I speak in Elvish at him. Equally angry sounding Elvish.
He speaks back in like a pigeon Elvish that's kind of like a why you speak in that, like that he doesn't entirely know it, but he's like, why you here, go away.
When he says, why you speak in... Wait, so he said that? Like, why you speak in that?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, like, hold the tip of my ear and just, like, duh! Just, like, angry Elvish, like, why you no speak it better? Huh? Huh? Use my hands
he
like I'm
starts
an
cursing.
Italian.
He starts cursing like in a different language that you don't speak, which is Sylvan. But Blue, you understand him. He's saying, curse Bavlorna's guests and curse that old fat witch. I'll have her under this cleaver someday if I ever get these birds under control.
Yes, we're her guests. We're just passing through. That's all.
Do you speak Sylvan?
No, I say it in common. Oh, I don't understand him. Never mind. Dang it. Sorry.
Squirrel is going to approach the bird and draw the metal shaving from his tail.
Squirrel, they're flying all over the room, and one of them is they're fighting each other for some food. But as soon as you enter the room, they see new food, and one flies at you to try to eat you.
Alright, I'm going to use its attention to try to draw them towards my friends.
Well, okay.
Without being eaten.
Someone just ninja pulled.
What?
Leroy
All of a sudden, the
Jenkins.
squirrel comes running back to you all with a bunch of birds flapping after it.
I would like to say, birds, attend me.
Oh yeah. And then they're like, hungry, and that's what they're saying.
Quick,
in
where's
bird.
the cupcakes? Cupcake god, bestow your gifts.
Tiffany's gonna roll her eyes at the old man because reasons, and then have a brilliant idea and take her extra rations from the forest of magical plates of cookies and crumble up a cookie and throw the crumbs distractingly.
They go hungry, and they start pecking over all the crumbs, and they leave squirrel alone. And then this creature here. Let me see if I have this creature.
Yes, behold the generosity of my patronage.
Gosh darn it. This one... Oh my gosh. They're like... I want to show all the cool art, but then this stupid thing. Anyways, this thing... I'm going to describe him. He looks like... there's gore and blood spattered all over this kitchen. He's got a stained apron, iron boots, and a crimson, like Santa Claus, like cap, and a bloody meat cleaver. And he's chasing these birds. And as soon as you throw a bunch of crumbs and the birds like jump over there, he gets the jump on them. He jumps over and he chops their heads off and kills them. And he says, in common now, he says, "Oh, well, I guess you were useful after all."
And it's just crestfallen.
And then he drags the giant birds and slaps them up onto the table, and he starts chopping them up, and he's like, "Curse that woman. I'm sorry, don't you repeat that to her." And he's like chopping the birds up.
Sir, could you point us in the direction of stairs?
Yep, there. And he points like toward this door.
Delightful.
Thank you.
And he's
Tiffany,
like, "I swear I'm gonna kill that hag. I'm gonna kill her." And
Tiffany just
Hey,
leaves the rest
better
of the
be
cookies
careful
on
with
this
those
corner here.
codes. Some people take those seriously.
I'm sorry, Sean. Hold on. What were you saying, Sean?
Tiffany just leaves the rest of the cookies on this corner here and just says, you know, in case you need them. They all just go.
Yeah, he weeps a little bit. No one's given him cookies in a long time. But and then he starts cursing Bavlorna again. What were you saying, Caleb?
So be careful with oaths like that. Some people take them seriously.
He mutters under his breath, but you can hear him. He's like, "Oh, I will take it seriously. I will kill her."
I'd hear it. All right. Well, let's just pass that potential ally by and open this door.
All right. And it opens unlocked, and there are stairs.
All right. Someone else after you.
Catalan goes in and climbs the stairs.
All right, I'm gonna
Squirrel.
delete you all. Wait,
A,
go
bus-
ahead.
a business owner once upon a time is going to notice these plates in all disarray and try to stack a few of them and clean up a little bit.
Okay, you do that for no reason. Does
You know,
anybody else
actually, before we leave, I'd like to turn around and kind of casually walk up to the murderous cleaver guy and say, you know, just putting it out there hypothetically, if there were a way to kill Bavlorna,
And then he's like hacking, like as you're doing that, and he stops when you say that. And he just like this.
and purely hypothetically, if you were speaking to someone who was in fact not her guest, but a burglar who wouldn't mind murdering her, would you have anything interesting to tell them?
Be quiet.
Or
And then,
Never mind the pet squirrel and 5 children.
damn, all right, fine.
He like leans in and he's like, "Listen." And he points his knife and he's like, "She's really powerful. She has a lot of magic, but she's helpless against the Widdershins."
Widdershins?
The Widdershins.
What in the heckle snap is a Widdershin?
You hear glass breaking in the background as Squirrel drops a plate.
I don't react at all.
God, what? Why are there squirrels in here?
It's just one squirrel. Calm down. It's under control.
He comes with the tree.
Bavlorna's weakness, first and foremost, is her hatred of her sisters. But greater than that, if you run Widdershins, she's helpless.
And the feckle snap is a Widdershin.
What?
What?
What are you doing and how do you get in hither and you don't know what a Widdershin is?
Portals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, a Widdershin is when something runs in a fast circle in a counterclockwise direction.
So if we run in a fast circle in a counterclockwise direction, then
She'll start
She's
laughing
fine.
and she can't stop.
Incapacitation through laughter. Interesting.
All right. Well, I'll nod knowingly and return.
He'll grab you before you go, and he'll like get up on the table and he'll grab you by the collar and he'll be like, "You have to let me know when you do it. I hate it."
Do you want to like come along?
No.
You should probably get his name so we can yell for him.
His name is Bloody Toes.
I don't feel like that's right. I know that's what they call him. I don't feel like that's a real name.
Is your name Bloody Toes?
No one's ever even asked. It is Bloody Toes, though.
Yeah, I know. I realized that it was a literally unprecedentedly stupid question, but I'm kind of corralling children here, so it happens. All
Tiffany
right.
just looks at the floor and goes, "Actually, that explains a lot. Because of all the blood."
Yeah, not big on hygiene around here. All right. Well, I'll consider it anyway. Gentle folks. It appears that if we run it in a counterclockwise direction, either we will successfully defeat Bavlorna, or we will look stupider while she kills us. One of those two.
I mean, that was always an option anyways. Tiffany goes all Golden Brick Road and just like locks arms with the tree and Nia and just starts dragging them along with her.
All right. Well, now we're at a staircase, so single file. Knock it off.
Is there anything of note in this cistern before I leave?
I grab the squirrel off the cistern.
He like claws with his front paws onto it as you pull him
I'm
away.
sorry, I said that wrong. She doesn't laugh. She sneezes uncontrollably. She's allergic.
That's so much weirder.
She's allergic to running widdershins. So
Huh.
Fucking insane!
I don't like how you said that like it made more sense. That makes exponentially less sense.
I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. She doesn't laugh at you being idiots. She's allergic to it. What?
okay.
I guess that's a no.
As
think we
kind of
just
one passes Den, he says, "Good call on interrogating the man a little further."
Yeah, it was,
Very good.
yeah. And now we know his name because we're great at picking questions.
To be fair, that doesn't sound like a real name.
It sounds like a real name
It
here.
sounds like a terrible nickname.
We've been in the Feywild for at least several hours. This is how names work here.
There's a ball of light that, as you go up these rafters onto the top floor, third floor of her cottage, it's bobbing around the room, and it's casting shadows as it goes around it. This room is really disgusting. Like rotten food thrown everywhere and dishes that aren't cleaned
Evil
up.
trees.
Moldy rugs. There's a bed. Let's see, where's it at? Over here. And there's a chest of drawers over here. And a watering can on top. I'm sorry, here's a chest of drawers with a watering can on top of it. And a stocky wooden chest over here and a door. And these, I don't know why it shows these because I'm going to get rid of them. They are actually pots that have been smashed and the plants are dying, and the dirt is spilled out on the floor.
When you say the plants are dying, does that just mean like they're plants that are no longer in pots, or are they like grasping at the air in front of them, wheezing, like...
They're not wheezing, but they look like they're dying. Like they're like plants that are dying that have been knocked over and haven't been watered.
Alright, I'd like to say in Sylvan, hey guys.
Say what?
Hey guys.
They go, water.
Do I have water on my personages?
Probably. There's also a watering can.
Oh man, there's a watering can. I'd like to go get the watering can and engage in some water.
You want to water? Which plant do you water? There's one here, one here.
Whichever one
and here.
responded to me. If
Probably
I mean,
this one.
preferably all of them.
Okay.
But
when you water it, it like you can see life almost go back into it, and its limb suddenly goes and like grows out, and like it goes into the chest and like goes behind it, breaks something in the chest and pulls it out, and it says, "Thank you," and it holds up a key.
Right, I'll take the key off of it and
Can I
say, "Hey,
use?
anytime."
Sorry. Can I use Druidcraft on the rest of the plants so that their roots grow into the wet wood of this moldy ass building, and they can possibly just not die?
Is that Tiffany that does that?
Yes.
The little bush guy goes up as you do this in awe, and he's like, "You are amazing." And then like that works, and like they grow down into all the moss and the wood, and they get their life back. And in Sylvan, Blue, you can hear them saying, "Thank you so much." And you have like 4 very grateful tree plants in her bedroom now.
All right.
And then she just
Well,
like
we're
blushes at
accumulating a
the
forest.
compliment from her frog tree friend, because she doesn't do compliments.
And I bet anything that key goes to this door over here.
Well, or this chest that the squirrel is pointing out very helpfully.
Or the second door in the room.
But you said you'd bet anything. What do you have that looks like
I really
worth
shouldn't
betting?
say that in the Feywild, should I? That's probably not.
Yeah.
Do we feel any closer to our missing things at all, or like how does that work?
Oh yeah, Tiffany, Catawan, and Squirrel have an overwhelming drive. Your heartbeat is like drumming in your ears because you know that something that is a part of you
Jumanji
is
style.
nearby. Yeah. Anyways,
Does it get even worse? Does it get even worse as we get closer to this chest?
as you get closer, not to the chest, no, but as you get as you went up the stairs and you're in this room, yes. But the chest, let's take a look at the chest. When you approach the chest, there's a padlock on it. Um, it's got iron clawed feet that it sits on, and it has the initials BB carved into it onto the lid. And
Now, when I see the iron feet, I would like to squint and acknowledge internally that I'm making a mistake, and then I would like to attempt to open the padlock with the key.
it works. You're able to open it. It contains a 12-inch tall marionette. I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Of what would look like a hag. Like this big, and it's a marionette.
Hey, squirrel. You got that? The shard of metal that you had previously?
Oh, you mean my sword? Yeah, I have my sword. Here's my sword.
All right. Stab away, and I'll
Alright.
toss the marionette in his direction.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait, do you do that?
No, I'm not gonna stab a marionette.
Oh, okay.
Not gonna stab the voodoo doll. It's got one job.
Do I recognize this voodoo doll?
Yes, you recognized it as one of the hags that flew off from the restful lily, and it has faces on opposite sides of its head. One is the face of a moon, the other is a sun. It is you know that it'd be worth a lot of money because it's a well-made marionette. Also, you find an unpunched ticket from the Witchlight Carnival. It's signed by Isolde, like in common, the name Isolde. And then you find 3 magical scrolls that are tied together with a lute string.
I take them and hand them to Theron.
Theron takes them. And yeah, what do you do with the marionette?
It gave you the marionette, not the magical scrolls.
Oh, I thought the magic scrolls were attached to the marionette. I thought they were all tied together. They just grabbed them, but that's okay.
Like, they open up the magical scrolls. What do they? What do they got going on? What are they?
They are 3 scrolls of identify.
That's the lamest thing that could possibly have been in here. Well, let's. Yeah. All right. Hey, did one of you guys want to interact with this floating light that might be one of your like souls? Hey,
Catalan jumps up and tries to grab the strobe of light.
It flees out the window.
I'd like to give the marionette a little squirrel kiss on the cheek.
Its head turns to you and frowns.
I take my little paws and I forcefully turn its head to look away from me.
you see, succeeding in life has one rule: always listen to Din. And you're over here like, I'm gonna flaunt Din. And you know what happens? Your advances get turned down by a marionette.
Can you still hear me?
I break concentration on speak with animals.
Nice.
Does the heart pounding stop as that light flows out of the room?
No, as you get closer to this door, it gets worse.
Okay. Catalan goes to check out the door.
It's unlocked, and you open this heavy waterlogged door on the 3rd floor, and I will describe what you see here. You see a musty room. There are heaps of discarded blankets, quilts, cushions of all different sizes and shapes. Tons of musical instruments, toys, dolls, jewelry boxes, vases, all kinds of just junk that's been kept here. And there's a stag skull, a white porcelain jar with chicken legs, a fancy looking helmet on a faceless head of a wooden mannequin, a 5-foot long bronze statue of a giant frog. It shows 1, there are 3. I can't change that. There are 3. There's 1 here, there's 1 here, and 1 here. And there are these big wooden frogs. There's a desk here with some stacks of paper on it, and then a weak croaking sound calls your attention to this tiny shriveled figure laying on the floor. It lets out a final gasp before it dies as you enter.
We recognize it?
No. Well, it looks like one of those things, but you know.
It doesn't have like cupcake crumbs on its face.
It doesn't have cupcake crumbs on its face, but it definitely looks like one of those things.
So there were 3 of them.
Yep. Up until 1 second ago, nice morbid joke there. Way to really honor the memory of this person that just died.
Suddenly, you notice a shadow moving on the other side of these boxes here, Squirrel. And a dark humanoid figure is there in the junk, and it's clutching a large spool of thread in one hand, and it's trying to make for the door.
Well, it definitely bumps into some of the children there, so...
Wait, what'd you say, Thomas?
Catalan jumps and tries to tackle it before it leaves the room.
I'd like to grab the thread.
Alright. Let's see. Catalan make an opposed strength check, and Squirrel make a sleight of hand check. We got a nat 20.
Oh no. It's a strength? Okay, that's one of my good ones. Come on. Roll me something good. 21.
Nice. You tackle it. Squirrel, what did you get?
2.
A 2. You definitely did not get the thread. You're trying to get the thread, and it like is out of your reach. But you tackle this thing. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me find this. It has a special feature. Says let me find it. I should have brought up the website too, because it's hard to do these, and the Roll20 has a glitch in it. You try to grab it. It actually has a feature, and your hands pass through it. But there's some good news. When it does this, it flies out the window, and it drops the spool of thread.
I pick up the spool of thread and investigate it.
It's this is so weird. What color does Katawan associate the most with what he hates the most? Like, not as, this is so weird and abstract. Not what is his least favorite color, but what is the color that he associates with what he hates the most? Is it red?
It's probably black. He thinks of
black?
Danger and Heart, and he thinks of the night and shadows and murder.
When you pick it up, you see like gray and black, and it makes you think of that and feel that. And that's what you feel when you touch it. And roll d8.
Oh no. 6.
6. Okay. All of a sudden, a wind comes from outside as this thing flies out the window, and it smells awful, as if every awful bubble just farted out of the nasty swamp nearby and has flown in through this window.
Katawan immediately sets down the spool and says, that is not right. That is raw and disgusting and ugh.
Other than that, you see the helmet on the mannequin. You see porcelain jar on a wooden table. There's a bunch of paper stacked on the wooden table, and there are 3 of these frogs. And then there's just piles and piles of junk, including a bunch of cushions and pillows and quilts that are all moldy and rotten.
Do I feel anything for this frog?
Yeah, you're feeling, actually, as you approach that frog, you have the overwhelming feeling that you're, the part of you that is missing is there.
I headbutt it.
Okay, tiefling disappears.
That's probably for the best.
As the frog just like its mouth opens and you headbutt it, and then you fall inside.
Well, that's not what I was expecting to happen
and then
at all.
its mouth closes.
How does our new tree friend react to this?
Oh yeah, the tree friend is like, no, 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 no.
You're doing too high pitch. It's not coming in at all.
He's like, no, 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 and he runs over and like is looking around the frog, like, where did she go? You know.
Darren, quick, can you use the identify scrolls on one of these frogs to figure out what it is?
I mean,
That would have been helpful 5 minutes ago.
Yes. Uses the scroll, and he's like, this is actually, let me. Oh, actually, it'd be better to do this one. He's like, this is conjuration magic, and this is a portal to somewhere else.
Do I feel a strong pull whenever I walk towards this frog?
Which one?
The one I'm at right now.
Yes.
Well, then I trust that you'll take care of these guys. I think I have to go in. I think I have to make this journey.
I don't kink shame, my man.
I'm not sure
Do what you
splitting the
gotta
party is
do.
the best plan, but do what you gotta do.
I was about to say you don't have to split the party, but you can also do it if you want. So just so you know.
Yeah, go
It's up to
ahead.
you guys.
I'll go back to looking over Bavlorna's books, making sure her finances are up to snuff.
Well, first of all, Catalan, do you go in there alone?
Squirrel, do you want to go with me?
Squirrel jumps with you, yeah.
Squirrel, you have an overwhelming sense that the part of you that's missing is in this frog. But you can go with Catalan if you want.
Nia is gonna grab the tree
Oh, go ahead.
and punch this frog and try to follow Tiffany.
Okay, you go in. Yeah. And Theron goes with you.
Darren, whoa, dang it. I was gonna say Darren can come with me and Din can go with Squirrel. That way we each pair up with somebody.
Little metagaming, the big downside to doing, splitting the party is basically we'll have, sessions that other people aren't going to be at. Because, we're going to have a whole adventure for you. So, and that's okay.
Appreciate everyone going into the frogs before looting the magical items. That's very responsible. Right?
I mean, we're children. We're not thinking like that.
So what
probably.
if we all follow Nia? Was it Nia that went in?
I mean, Tiffany went in first, but yeah.
What if we all follow Tiffany and hope that we all come back after she gets hers, and then we each go?
Yeah,
into the
I just
frog?
want to
We
be
can do that.
clear because I don't want to disrupt your all's gameplay in the sense that when you split the party, what happens is the people that are in a different thing that's happening, they get to play and the other people don't, right? So we'll have to kind of schedule that out, and that's okay because that's kind of cool too, right? It's no, I have to make this journey alone. That's cool too. I just want to be clear. You can choose. You guys can choose whichever you find more enjoyable. So just kind of meta there.
I cast my vote that we follow Tiffany and we all go in one at a time to each one.
Yeah, and I kind of just figured it would break when I headbutted it. I didn't realize it was going to portal me, so.
I vote for splitting the party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a matter of time before a witch finds us and tries to kill us. Now, fortunately, we've been told how to kill her, and hopefully it's not a prank. But I don't know. They're frogs. They're magical. I don't think they seem very dangerous. That you guys are going here for the things you need. I don't know. I don't know that this is if there's a boss battle on the other side of each one. I don't know. I don't get a particularly dangerous sense. That's just getting eaten by frogs. It happens all the time around here.
Well, I still say that we at least pair up and take one or two people with us as we go and not just go by ourselves.
And Blue, are you looking at those documents?
I'm looking at everything, but yeah, the documents first. Then I'd like to make my way over to the obviously magical helmet.
Well, let's start with the helmet. It is an obviously magical helmet, but you don't know what it is. But it's a helmet, so you can have
What's
it.
the style of the helmet? Is this kind of a plate helm thing going on? Is it more kind of lightweight? What kind of fantasy archetype would you describe this helmet as belonging to?
It's a skull cap with an alfalfa spike.
I would describe it as. Let me make sure I have it here. I would describe it as incredibly intricate, as if elven, as if ancient elven. Like if it were the Elder Scrolls, it would be where are those Heartland elves?
The Aelids.
The Aelids. I would describe it as
The-
Aeliad.
You think it would belong to demon worshippers?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
All
saying
right.
this is from a very ancient, far long ago people that have skills that are no longer exist, kind of thing.
Oh, we've got an identify scroll. Might as well break some eggs, make some omelets. What's this helmet got going on?
This is a helm of telepathy, and is an ancient artifice of magical elves from Evermeet.
We'll definitely take the helm of telepathy, put it on, and I'd like to attempt to talk to the squirrel, assuming I don't perish immediately.
You do not. But let me get
I,
back to the papers first.
hmm
If you look at the papers, you notice that there are some business keeping here, even though it's got like stains on it and goop and stuff. And some of it's kind of soggy and has like questionable sticky stuff on it. But the document, one of them is a ledger that shows transactions between Bavlorna and different entities, many of which are between her and her sisters, but some are between signatories that are done in some sort of magical way. And some of the signatures, when you look at them, it hurts your eyes. But you do notice that 3 of the transactions are a portion of 3 creature souls.
Is there any insight that it gives me, or just that she made a transaction involving portions of creature souls?
What
Does it say
languages?
what the other parties were in the transaction?
What languages do you speak?
I speak Sylvan, Common, Infernal, Celestial, Abyssal, Primordial.
Oh my god, you speak like all of them. One of them is in Infernal, and it simply has the initial T. One of them is in Abyssal, and it has kind of the initials. What is it I'm looking for here? It's in Abyssal, and it has the initials VD. Thanks, Sean. But it does. It's VD. That's the guy's initials. And then the other one is in what are your languages again? Not
Primordial, Celestial, Sylvan,
no. And the other one you don't
Infernal,
recognize.
Abyssal.
Yeah, the other one you do not recognize.
Darn. Can I see which soul was transacted with which entity? Who had the Abyssal one and the
Sure.
Infernal one
This
and
one
the
is Abyssal. This one is Infernal. Um, and this one
You're
is.
saying this one, and that's not useful information for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was pinging it. Can you not see my ping?
Nope.
Interesting. What about now?
Ah,
Okay.
I see.
Okay. Sorry. I know
Okay,
why it did
so
that. So let me start over. Because actually I have this wrong, and you do recognize the other initials. And the other initials are like in Sylvan, but it has like what you might consider an emoji in Sylvan, as if it's making fun of it. And
that's how Sylvan works.
this one right here is Abyssal. This one is Sylvan, and this one is Infernal.
That makes a lot of sense. Now that I think about it, these probably involve character moments. I only say that out of character, of course.
That's
I
what I
know
was thinking
nothing.
out of character, yeah.
Yeah,
I
all
will
right.
say, if you
I'll
split your
pass that
party,
information along.
then yeah, it will be kind of like we might have to like have sessions to, I don't know how to work, but
Yeah, well, if we wanna split up, I can. Well, hold on. I need to resolve problems here. Well, actually, can I just try to take her ledger?
yeah,
I would like to take her ledger, and this helm of telepathy. Does it allow me to telepathy?
yeah, it's a helm
Does
of
it allow me
telepathy.
to telepathy with squirrels?
Um, oh yeah, and I know that you're supposed to attune to it. I think that's done. I don't care. So yeah, it just works. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Can I say that my squirrel friend is of an unpalatable color?
Yeah.
to the squirrel.
Yeah.
Do I hear anything back? Do I have an ability to communicate?
Um,
I think we lost Jake.
No, I'm here.
There he is.
this is a really OP item, and it says it right here. So I mean, I don't know what else to say, but they have it. I'm gonna give it. You basically have like mind powers. You don't just like speak to people. You can attempt to control their thoughts, and you can read their thoughts.
But squirrel.
So you send that message, squirrel. You have a message in your brain, like squirrel.
Can I reply in a sense that he would understand me, or is there a squirrel chitter back? That's the question.
Not only do you reply, but you also tell us what all the squirrel is thinking because he can actually read all your thoughts.
Squirrel's thinking, Tiffany got swallowed by a frog. That's absolutely
I
terrifying.
immediately take the helmet off and say, okay, I can communicate with the squirrel. So if we want, you could take the meathead kid and go through your frog, and I could take the squirrel because I can talk to him. And if we want to do the splitting up thing, and
Which
that's
was the meathead?
The kid that was once a wizard and is now a fighter or a
Oh,
barbarian
there.
or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's-
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
He's
All
got
right.
to enjoy
Sure.
hot this life.
Theron already went
Wait,
there.
what?
Theron already went.
Yeah.
Theron's
Oh,
a fighter?
come on.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can
I'm
change
the
it
only
if you
one who
want.
knows that because it's my job to take care of you kids.
Here, I can change it. No big deal.
No, like, I'll go by myself. You go with squirrel.
No. Take Theron, I insist.
Okay.
Theron's just like
I'm an adult. I'm the
right
only
here.
one who gets votes here. Yeah, I know
you're
you
only
are.
an
And
adult.
next, you will be in a
Not
frog. So mentally and emotionally prepare yourself.
Okay.
All right, this sounds like a plan.
All right. So let's just start with Tiffany and Nia. Actually, let's not because that's literally one player, which is kind of great. But I don't know. And also, what? Oh wait, Blue, you're going with Caber, right?
Yep.
Oh man, it's too late. You all already made this decision, but it was a horrible idea. But it's
It's-
Okay. Actually, I'm going to start with Katawan because that's going to be the easiest. Katawan and Theron. Here we go. Do you have your character sheets?
Yeah, my adult ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Do I need to switch over?
Yes, you do.
All right, switching over. Stash that away. Hopefully for good.
Ironically, because Theron had to go, this is also still just one player.
Yeah, no, it was a bold move to start with the team that had the player that's gone.
It just makes more sense. Okay, here we go. From top to bottom, Katawan. As you step through the toad's mouth in the portal, you suddenly feel yourself and Theron buffeted with painful heat, and you can make a Constitution saving throw.
A Constitution. Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Nice. The heat is painful, but you're able to endure it. The air, it's choked here with floating embers in the air. You can tell it's toxic. There's noxious gases shooting up from magma all around you, and fire is erupting from the ground in different places. And you think you hear the cries of agony on these hot winds as something's being tormented here.
Oh, what a pleasant place. This
And-
is fun.
To be clear, I'm sorry, you're in your adult body. You are Katawan now, and you see Theron in his adult body next to you. And
Oh, Theron. Oh, finally, we're back. We're
What?
back, man, brother. We're back.
you do hug him. He's like,
Yeah.
What is this place?
Well, if I had to guess, This is hell.
And he looks around, and you can see here. There's this precipice that you're on. Actually, let me overlooking a lake of fire, and it's on the shoreline of this lake of fire. In the distance, there's this big city, and otherwise you don't see anything except just endless fields of magma and fire. Except over here, there is also a tower with lights coming in it and molten lava coming out of the top of it that looks like it might be inhabited. Yeah, the city is probably a couple miles away. The rest of everything else around you just see magma and lava and fire and your screams. It looks like this would probably be the quickest route to the right, but it's pretty dangerous too. You can see that there are streams of lava and sharp cliff sides. This is probably the sure route, but you would be out there longer.
Okay, am I still missing a piece of my soul? I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how would he act? Well, Theron, I don't feel like we should take any risks. We should take the short route, the long way around, just to be safe.
I agree. I don't think we should be climbing over that lava. I don't know what we'll find out here, though.
Tempest knows. Tempest knows.
Okay, let's see here. It's about 10 miles to make it about that far. It's a long way, so every 5 miles. So let's do random encounters. Okay. When you hugged Theron, it also gave you an overwhelming sense of dread and desire to escape and flee. That sense of that short sense of joy that you're back in your own body. As soon as you just hug someone, suddenly you get negative feelings, and you lose.
Was that hug weird? Was that that was weird, wasn't it?
Vibe check.
Theron is withdrawn, and he's I don't know what you mean, and he doesn't seem to be wanting to talk to you. But you lose. I'm gonna call this losing temporary hit points instead of gaining temporary hit points, and it'll make sense later. You lose 10 temporary hit points.
Okay, can you hold on just 1 second? I started the match without a pencil. 1 second. So sorry. Minus 10 temporary hit points. Okay.
And let's see your random encounter here. It's unfortunate. No one's gonna get this. There is a sludgy, pudgy creature that rises up out of the ground. Let me see if I can find. Let's see if I can do something like this. Yeah, there we go. That will make sense. It rises up out of the lava in front of you. You barely are able to tell that it's a creature at first. It's just this mass of slime and flesh that's just kind of melting into itself like Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs. It's just and then but it's small.
I get that.
And it comes up. I got that reference, yeah. And then it comes up and it's I hate you. I hate you. And it starts to melt again.
Back at you, brother. Yeah, we're just gonna avoid that. I don't feel like fighting it.
Droville North will not forget. And then it melts.
Well, that was disturbing.
Alright, what do you do?
Keep moving forward.
Okay. Do you investigate this tower or keep going toward the city?
Yeah, sure, we investigate the tower.
Okay. Let's see. That's just one dice roll. And you're good. Actually, no, that's not good. That's the opposite.
Oh no.
So, let's see. You see another one, like, bubble up out of the ground. And, it also, like, just, like, you know, kind of bubbles up out of the molten earth, and then, like, reaches up at you, and it's like, I hate you, like that. And it says, "Will you haunt us will remember," and then it melts.
Isn't Rayleigh Haunted the one that we destroyed?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, that would be a bummer if we bumped into her down here. She was not pleasant to fight last time.
I will always remember as it like melts.
Yeah, fond memories, of course, fond memories. Brother Theron, you still with me? Let's investigate this tower.
He's like, I don't like this. These things. Actually, I'm going to see if he notices. He does not. I don't like this place at all. These things are disgusting. I'm going to roll for him. Let's see if he, and then, like, a bunch of these things, like, bubble up out of the earth around him when he says that. And they start to, like, fawn over him. And they're like, Mighty One, Mighty One. And they start to worship Theron.
Well, that can't be a good sign. Theron, you okay, brother? You gotta start thinking a little more positively, or else,
And then he's like, actually, I feel really good.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's just keep an eye on each other, okay? Let's check this tower out.
You said keep an eye on each other?
Yeah.
What is Catalan feeling when he says that to Theron?
Worried. He's worried that something down here is changing him and might be for the worse.
Okay, so he's worried. Is he worried about Theron?
Yeah.
When you look at Theron with concern and compassion, you feel yourself get weaker, and you feel like an overwhelm, like your heart starts to pound in your ears, and you want the feeling of wanting to escape. And you lose 10 more temporary hit points.
Oh no.
As you approach this tower, you can hear voices chanting from the top of the tower. And yeah, that's what you hear there.
I'm sorry, I was writing down the hit points. We hear what from the tower?
Chanting.
Chanting. Okay. All right. They gotta shake that there, and let's go. Let's check this tower out.
He's like, yeah, I think I will. And he goes in. You go into the tower, and there are halls in here, and it's a little bit of a respite from the heat. And as you wind your way up to the top of the tower, you can see these beings in there without noses, and they're humanoid, but like odd, different, and they're all wearing robes. They kind of look like those Duros things from Star Wars, and there are symbols, like arcane symbols, on the floor, and a lot of them have creatures up above the symbols, and they're either mutating them or tormenting them, or like only part of them is still left, and they're like prodding them to see what pain, and these creatures are screaming, and they're doing like arcane experiments on them. And one of them comes up to you, and he's like, also powers.
Yes, maybe you could point us in the right direction. Looking for a portion of my soul that's been sold off. Where would I go to reclaim it?
Souls come here to be lost. But I will answer your question. But before I do, you, and he points to Theron. And Theron's like, and he's like, I sense power in you, but not the power that this abomination, and he points back to you, Catalan, comes with. But great power. We could learn from each other. And I'm actually going to see if Theron's like, you know, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything here I want to learn, but thank you very much. He's like, regrettable. I sense a much greater destiny in you, but you, abomination, you will find what you're looking for, or your end in this. And he points out out an open window in the fortress toward the city.
Okay. Well, thank you, I suppose. Aaron, you ready?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Alright. Head towards the city.
Alright, I'll just make all the rolls here. It's going to be about 12 miles, so that's going to be just a couple of them. And we have one random encounter. Like a whole bunch, a couple dozen of these molten flesh things that are about this tall that you can vaguely see as a person, maybe, boil up out of the earth around you, and they start to surround you, and they pull on you as you try to travel up the hill, and they're like, please kill us, please. They grab onto you and stuff.
I'd like to try to shake them and get them off me.
You shake one, and its limb flies off away from it, and there's only half of it's left, and it looks up uniquely, and it says, "Vice heart will remember," and it melts back into the ground.
These things are not very hospitable, eh, there?
They make me feel very unsettled.
For sure.
And eventually you make it to the city. And or at least to the gates of the city. And it looks like a stone pathway that would lead into it. There are molten streams of lava here, and the city is walled. And it's got black towers that shoot up into the sky like dark fire. If you've ever played the game Oblivion, it looks like that, like gnarly looking architecture that looks like the building's on fire. And there's devils of every kind here that are walking and flying and riding hellish mounts into and out of the gates of the city. And when you set your foot onto the stone pathway, you realize that it's made of the skulls of thousands of damned souls. And you can hear faint screams echoing as you tread on them. And at the gates of the city is a woman in black robes. And she looks different than the fiends. She looks like a human. And she has her back to you. But she turns and she stares at you and looks you directly in the eyes.
Yes, sister, we are lost souls searching for more of my soul. There's a piece of my soul missing. We're just trying to pass through and try to investigate where my soul might be, where the piece of my soul might be, that is.
And then she takes something out of her robe, and there's this glowing light, and you have the overwhelming sense of like a part of you that is missing being right there. And she says, Red Knight, even with your bloodlust taken from you, you couldn't escape the fight. It calls out to you across the many planes. It is a part of you.
I'm not a red knight. I'm a knight of Tempest.
Yet, I will give you this part of you back that your petty god admires. Freely. But I want to offer you this final deal before we meet at the last Sunder.
Well, I don't have much of a choice. I'll hear you out. What's your offer?
I am the beginning of all things. I am their final destination. I was there when the Vale began. I will be there when it loops back again on itself, and it ends and begins again. In a way, I am its mother. You and I, we are bound together, like the night sky and the thunder of electricity. When the time comes, we meet and set things in motion. I wish to eat. I am hungry. And always have been since the shard was cast into the ages before all ages. Your petty god, he is an afterthought to this. A tool by the others. You have seen it now. How pointless the fighting is, how pointless the struggle is, where it all leads in the end. You fight and you die, and the circle repeats forever. I'll give you peace. I'll give you peace from fighting forever. I'll end it all. Even your friends don't have to die.
At that last part, he perks up and turns to Theron and turns back to her and kind of lowers his head and says, yes, peace. That's all I want, just peace. I've been fighting my whole life. It's all I've known. It's all I will ever know, probably. My side that I fight for is for my friends and for their safety. That is what I fight for now. Without my soul, or without the piece of my soul that you have, that is what I fight for. Before I fought for Tempest. Now all I want is for the safety of my friends. You promised me that.
Yes. But not the veil. Surely you've understood by now that the veil is a mirage, facade. It's not real.
What about the people that live in the Vale? Are they real?
They are. But they are doomed.
I can't leave them all to die. I can't do it. My friends know the cost. We all know the cost of what this life leads. We fight for each other, but at the end of the day, it's for all those souls that are on the Vale, the plane that is the Vale. I will continue to fight for them and for my friends. But I cannot fight for you.
Then we will meet at the sundering. And she takes it, she reaches out, like this object of like glowing power and magical energy, and she says, "Don't trip over your own hubris."
It's good to see that the other side has a sense of humor too. And takes it.
And at that, all of a sudden, a flash of light. As soon as you receive this object, lightning and thunder crack, and it looks, you're no longer surrounded by magma and heat. It's almost as if some other force has like pushed its way through and pushed in a direct way. Like you felt this power ever since you held the scroll decades, years ago. But it's always sort of been a little bit opaque, right? And you get the sense that there is this urgency needed such that the finger of this thing itself comes down. And you see, instead of the magma, you see like these two massive dark horses, like towering up over you, that gallop by to either side. And then there's this massive being that like towers over you, and then it kneels down and looks at you. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to describe these things. And it says, "I come to you, a dire hour. My priesthood is gone. The Order of the Steel Fang, it's lost. The assassins of Levistus have picked them off one by one."
It can't be. It's the Order of the Steel Fang. They're impenetrable. They're the Steel Fang.
And he says, "The Dark Lady's plans, they're already complete, brother. The god of dragons is dead. Faerun is fallen. Other worlds will follow."
Faerun is fallen. No, it can't be it. Oh, Tempest, this is worse than I thought. What do we do?
My servants were wise to choose you. The journey beyond the whole worlds to the beginning of the outer realms, when time was made. It's been your forge. You're like when I was mortal. But wisdom and learning, those have been your friends. When I ascended, it was amidst hatred and bigotry in the realms. Armies of forgotten people for the salvations of our gods. That's what we've been sanctified to do, Catalan. We are the Bloody Hammer. Only duty. I wish you to return to my service, but you've doubted. You turned aside the gift I offered you.
I doubted myself, and for that I cannot atone. I asked for another chance at my honor, for the honor of you, and for the honor of my friends, and for the honor of the Vale and Faerun. I ask for another chance.
Yes. You doubted yourself. It wasn't being clumsy or tripping. It was in your heart. Leave behind self-doubt. You have clung to since the orphanage. Be what you are meant to be. You were never not meant to stumble or trip, because you are my immovable shield of my left hand. Leave self-doubt, brother, so that I can approach you finally.
It's Lord Tempest. As the samurai sign of respect and, this to the palm.
his forefinger descends down from, and it comes down, and all of a sudden this fire surrounds you, and your shield arm is suddenly replaced with red armor, and a lighter and seemingly simple shield has replaced your own.
Oh, awesome.
And he says, finish your work in the Vale, save your friends. If you survive the glorious combat that awaits you, seek me out to the planes of existence so we can reassemble the Steel Fang. The Vale is a mote of prime material on the border of the far realms, but together we will bring war to chaos, to the far reaches of what is. And with that, all of a sudden your vision comes back, and you're back, in this hot place. But when you look down, you can see that the shield is replaced, and you have the pauldron and vambrace of red armor. And the Dark Lady stands up.
Looks like I'm the Red Knight after all, Lady of Darkness.
Yes. Well, I will see you at the end of all this, when our time comes.
When our time comes.
And at that, she just motions her hand and opens a portal.
And, I'll walk through with Darren.
Hand in hand.
Yeah.
All right, and that's where we will end tonight. The others are still in their frogs, so we don't know you don't know what you'll see when you come out of your frog. Perhaps you'll see your friends, perhaps you won't.
I mean, out of character, I'm assuming mine's gonna be something abyssally,